In this video, we are going to reveal the secrets that you can learn from a book called The Road Less Traveled. This book was written by Dr. Scott Peck in order to help people discover a new psychology of love, traditional values, and spiritual growth. Life is difficult. What makes life difficult is the fact that confronting our problems is a painful process. It's human nature to avoid pain, so instead of figuring out how to solve their problems, most people tend to ignore them, which only makes them worse. Once you accept the fact that problems are a part of life, your perspective will begin to change. You will start to realize that your problems will not go away on their own, which means that you will need to take some action in order to get rid of them. The process of solving your problems is where life has its meaning. Solving your problems allows you to grow both mentally and spiritually. Your best course of action is to take the road less traveled. By confronting and solving your problems, you will be able to move forward with the rest of your life. Discipline provides us with a basic set of tools that we can use to confront and solve our problems. Discipline is made up of 4 techniques. The first technique is delaying gratification, which forces you to deal with the pain first so that you can enjoy the pleasure even more. The second technique is accepting responsibility. Most people blame their problems on society or other people. In order for you to solve your problem, you must first accept responsibility for that problem. In other words, you must be willing to say, "This is my problem and I'm going to solve it." The third technique is dedication to reality. The more clearly we see the reality of the world, the better equipped we are to solve our problems. If your view of the world does not match reality, then it will be more difficult for you to solve your problems. The fourth technique is balancing, which gives you the flexibility to give and take. An example of balancing is learning how to express your anger while at the same time learning how to control your anger. Using these techniques will help you to solve your problems. Falling in love allows you to extend your ego boundaries and nurture your spiritual growth. The development of your ego boundaries is a process that begins in childhood and continues throughout your adult life. Falling in love involves the collapse of your ego boundaries, which allows you to merge your identity with another person. The collapse of your ego boundaries causes an outpouring of emotions, which is experienced as ecstasy. Although ego boundaries can be lowered, they must be maintained. In order for true love to grow, couples must learn to accept each other's individuality and separateness. Attention is the principal form of love. When we love another person, we give that person our full attention. The best way to develop our attention is by listening. In order to listen effectively, you must give the other person your complete and undivided attention. You cannot truly listen to someone if you are doing something else at the same time. We teach our children how to read, write, and speak, but we never teach them how to listen. If you want your children to succeed in life, teach them how to listen. The best way to do that is by setting the example. When your child is talking to you, stop what you're doing and focus your attention on your child, even if it's just for a moment. In order to show your children that their voices matter, you must make an effort to truly listen to them. If you take the time to listen to your children, they are more likely to listen to you. An essential part of listening is setting aside your own views so that you can completely absorb what the other person is saying. Make a commitment to practice listening on a daily basis. When you're in a conversation, focus your complete attention on what the other person is saying. By doing this, you will greatly improve your relationships. Society tends to define religion as a set of beliefs or practices that include a belief in God or membership in a worshiping group. For most people, our beliefs were instilled at an early age. As children, the most important part of our culture is our own family. Our parents' behavior determines our view of the world. It's not what they say that matters, it's how they behave toward each other and toward our siblings and ourselves. In order to develop a realistic view of the world, we must constantly revise our understanding of the world by including new knowledge and expanding our frame of reference. The road to spiritual growth requires us to deliberately challenge the validity of what we were taught by our parents. In order to free ourselves from our childhood views, we must continually incorporate new information so that we can develop our own view of the world. Our dreams are designed to nurture our spiritual growth, but our daydreams can also provide us with valuable information about ourselves. Our unconscious mind tries to persuade us to express our deepest desires and urges, but our conscious mind represses those desires and urges so that we don't have to deal with them. Sometimes, one of those repressed desires gets expressed in the form of a Freudian slip. It happens when you intend to say one thing, but instead say something completely different. Freudian slips reveal both positive and negative urges that have been repressed by our conscious mind. An essential part of one's spiritual growth is bringing one's conscious self-concept into greater harmony with reality. All knowledge and wisdom is contained in our unconscious mind, and when we learn something new, we are actually discovering something that existed in us all along. Most people are amazed when something unusual happens. Serendipity is a common phenomenon that we tend to overlook because we are not aware of its presence. Serendipity, otherwise known as the grace of God, is the gift of finding something valuable that you weren't looking for. Serendipity occurs on a frequent basis to all of us, but we fail to take advantage of those moments because we fail to recognize their true nature. Serendipity is a powerful force that originates outside of human consciousness. It's designed to nurture the spiritual growth of humans. There are two opposing views in regards to serendipity. One is the doctrine of eminence, which holds that serendipity emanates from an external God down to man. The other is the doctrine of immanence, which holds that serendipity emanates from an internal God within the center of man's being. The interaction between God and man is to some degree the same interaction between our conscious and unconscious minds. Pay attention to serendipity so that you can take advantage of those moments and find something valuable that you weren't looking for. Congratulations! You reached the end. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.